Well, we are back, and guys, I want to say something about that last game to give you, I mean, it's actually hard to commentate GuMiho. For instance, there were times where there are units in his base, in his fourth base. He's microing against both those. He's dropping the natural of DRG. He's going back and forth between the third and the fourth of DRG, and off screen, he's dropping a siege tank in a place where it can hit drones mining at another likely expansion that doesn't even exist. And then he scouts it, and he's picking it up while microing with everything. GuMiho is everywhere. He's out of control, and he is so difficult to commentate.
Yeah,
oh my God.
We could talk about this on the break. I have never had such a difficult time trying to cast a player because there's so much that he's doing.
Dude, do you remember when people were like, you know, this game is going to be too easy, this StarCraft 2, because, you know, like, and then people are like, well, they'll micro on multiple fronts, and everyone's like, no, shut up, that sounds dumb. But GuMiho's actually doing it.
He's actually doing it.
He's like, well, the macro might be a bit easier, so I will just do things everywhere at once because I am so fast. In fact, I gotta check his APM. The new patch is out. APM is back, even though it's Blizzard minutes, not real minutes. So I'm not really sure what it means, the number. We're getting there,
It's kind of a nebulous number.
It's a little bit weird. I don't know.
All right, FXO GuMiho.
I think you add like 38% to it or something. I think that's something like that. Something like that.
FXO GuMiho, MVP, DRG.
I'm like, so I multiply it by 0.38 and then add that to the original number. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this on stream.
Yeah.
Let's do it, guys.
Let's do it, guys. I don't know. I mean, look at the difference in the way DRG looks from the start of this to where he is now. This guy, this nerd, that one right there, maybe going on to the finals of the GSL Code S. If DRG can't 3-0 him right now here in the GSL.
He's done stuff like it before.
Oh, this is the best one. We can see the rocks under it.
You gotta be careful those fly into it. Could damage the platform.
Imagine if the rocks could actually hit the map in the middle of the game. The guy's just like playing in a rocket his main. It's like, oh, GG, this game sucks. Okay. In the bottom left, the hardest player that Artosis and I have ever had to cast because his multitasking is so good. They call him... Actually, well... FXO GuMiho. I guess he calls himself that, and therefore we call him that.
The Totalitarian.
The Totalitarian is what we call him.
It's to wipe up the nerd blood he's going to spill this game.
Oh, yeah. In the upper right, the assumed favorite, with I believe 86% of the votes here. Maybe a lot of people wish they could recast that vote. His ID is... MVP DongRaeGu. Still a ton of support. Nerd support.
Mm-hmm. Well.
Whew. How are you doing, Artosis?
I just cannot wait to see how this game goes. You know, again, this is a huge map. By the time DRG's taking 4 bases, here's the thing. Normally as Zerg, you're like, well, I need to take a lot of bases. I need to take bases everywhere to get a huge economy. And that's how I'm going to win, because I'm a Zerg player. But the thing is, that is a Zerg falling into GuMiho's trap. He's like, yeah. No, I'm going to expand a lot of times. You expand a lot of times.
Basically.
All right? Like, even take more bases than me. I want you to. Do you know why? Because then when I drop 6 places at once and all my crazy tentacle arms come out with 6 mice to micro all the drops and I have fly eyes so I can see everything, he probably looks at the mini-map to micro. Because it's like, think about that for a minute.
He's actually
Because then he can see everywhere at once. He's just grabbing stuff on the mini-map. Oh,
basically,
what a crazy player.
That last game, it was like DRG was running through the woods, and he stepped on a pile of leaves, and he fell into the Rancor pit. And it turns out
the Rancor pit.
DRG was just a piggy nerd, and he just picked him up. I mean, GuMiho was a piggy nerd. Just,
wow.
Took that nerd out.
He did.
But DRG got eaten.
You know, some people use sniper rifles to play StarCraft. They do a very sharp, well-executed build, and they try to hit you between the eyes with it. Some people use a handgun, and when you run into them in an alley, they gut you with it. That's like MC, for instance, okay? You know what GuMiho uses? I was going to say a shotgun that sprays bullets. No. He uses a hand grenade. Shrapnel everywhere.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good metaphor for it.
Thanks. I worked hard on it.
Artosis, we got to go on a plane tomorrow morning.
Yes. With this.
Now, here's the thing, Artosis.
Yes.
I hate the airplanes that give me peanuts instead of pretzels.
Dude, you know, pretzels are a great snack for an airplane.
They are so much better than peanuts.
Here's the thing. They honey roast the peanuts so often, and I'm all right with honey roasted peanuts now and then. But you know what I actually want is I'd rather have the pretzels.
I'd rather.
Go with you on that.
Well, I mean, if I had peanuts, I'd rather have salted ones. But pretzels.
You know what
man.
I really don't like is the trail mix they sometimes give you.
Oh God, that's the worst.
That's like it's like this fuzzy orange stick that's in there. I'm like, what is this? I like call the stewardess over. I'm like, what is this? I'm like, listen. She's like tells me what it is. I'm like, no. Listen, you try it first, okay? King Artosis doesn't want to be poisoned by whatever this is. You try it.
We're gonna have that weird moment on the plane where I, for some reason, decide to have ginger ale. I'm like, I guess I'll have ginger ale because I never drink ginger ale, but it's on the plane.
Yep.
And you think you'll probably have V8 tomato juice because, I don't know, we don't normally drink that, but it's on the plane and might as well. All right, so very orthodox opener here from GuMiho.
Yeah, playing very standard, and you know why not? He's played some different builds in each game, and this game, you know, he's already shown how skilled he is. If he can just slow DRG's third base down and take his own third quickly like he did before, or something like that, get into that same type of situation, does DRG have it what it takes to, you know, deal with that? Now, don't count him out yet. He is making a Roach Warren, so there's definitely a possibility we're going to see him do some sort of crazy all-in, which could work out very well if a lot of Hellions are made. But anyways, don't count out DRG yet, because remember that during the Blizzard Cup finals at Best of 7, MMA went up 3-0 against him, and everyone's like, well, that's over. And then DRG powered back and went 3-0 against MMA and made the greatest series of all time in StarCraft 2. So this is a man that under the most pressure ever can come back.
Will DRG be able to do it? Right now, I say no.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
4 Roaches on the way.
The fact that GuMiho won that game after DRG tore through the entrance of his base, and it was basically GuMiho barely holding on in his main with the Siege Tank and perfect SCV micro. To come back against DRG like that, wow.
Yeah. By the way, GuMiho has given us a huge hint as to what he's doing here, and so has DRG. The 4 Roaches spoke to that quick third that we're seeing. With those Roaches, he'll be able to defend it against the Hellions. And GuMiho, as we saw on the screen just a moment ago, double Engineering Bay. And double Engineering Bay means that you're setting up for a very long game. There's not, like, right now, there does not exist any sort of 1-1 kill timing or anything like that. Like, absolutely you could pressure, but he's definitely setting up for a much longer game. So both players doing that definitely looks like we're going to see a macro game here.
GuMiho microing it out against that Overlord.
Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and mention the APM. The per Blizzard minute, GuMiho is oftentimes over 200 from what I've been seeing when he's doing something. And so if you add APM, if you try to make it into normal APM, that's going to be right up around 300. So that's what a professional StarCraft 1 Terran basically kind of needs to have. Slowest you'll see on a professional StarCraft 1 Terran, because that's like the most APM you need. Lowest might be 260, highest over 400. And of course during battles and stuff it peaks, but just a little actions per minute dialogue for you guys.
Looks
a monologue, more like
a monologue.
Yeah,
it's like a soliloquy.
Well,
I'm like, well, it's not exactly a soliloquy. But
everything we say is a monologue because I'm in your head, Tasis. Don't forget.
That's right. Because you don't actually exist. You're actually this thing I made up. You're my nerd, Tyler Durden.
Tyler Nerdin. You don't like that one?
It was good. It was good. Okay, so
well, you made it up, Tasis, or whatever. So I like this a lot. He just cleaned up a lot of creep tumors, and now he picks up and goes in the main, but that's not going to work. Plenty of units here.
He's like, why didn't you let me back into the medevac? Shut up, Marine.
Well, GuMiho has put down his third command center, just finished up Tasteless. I love the Viking cleaning up some Overlords so that he can do some drops that are harder to spot a little bit later. And it looks like DRG is once again going Infestor Tech, getting that Infestation Pit and getting Burrow as well. So we're going to see Ling Roach Infestor style out of him here. Thing is, that can be weak to drops. One way to deal with that, you might see some players like, for instance, DongRaeGu, when he goes for something like Infestor Tech, 3-4 spine crawlers at every single base. And it's worth it, because if you stop drops completely, this style is unbelievably powerful. And with those spines, I mean, what if you lose 3-4 drones? I'd much rather have them as spines, and later on those spines can be used for other things. So I really hope to see him do something similar to that if the drops start to become an issue for him. Which, with GuMiho in the game, very likely they could.
Note, GuMiho, just enough medevacs to pick up these Marines and Marauders if things start to heat up. So this way you can go around, kill any straylings, kill maybe a drone going to an expansion, or even kill an expansion. At the moment that Roachling army comes at him, he just picks up and leaves.
Now, we do have Hive and Spire on the way, so this is definitely going to be Broodlord with a lot of Lings and a decent number of Infestors. It is super strong composition, and he's rushing up to it oh so quickly. So with that, he's going to want to push out, start putting pressure on, and really hurt GuMiho. Because what does GuMiho really have for tech right now? He's actually making a second factory, which is very interesting. A lot of times, for some reason, it's become very popular to a lot of Terran players to make quite a few Thors against that style. Now,
he didn't lose anything back there, excuse me.
But, you know, this might not be for Thors. It could be just to get some additional siege tanks out because of the Infestors. So we'll have to see how he actually wants to deal with this.
The Hive is up. Again, GuMiho is doing... Look at DRG's creep spread, guys. Look at the mini-map. Oh my god, his micro's so good.
Yeah, it really, really is. He has two
He's going to win this fight
already. Win it without hardly losing anything tasteless.
The amount of Lings here that are being killed.
Oh, it's absolutely insane.
DRG's like, what? What is this, man? Oh, man. Well, that was so much money that was burned.
And the Infestors didn't even get there in time, man.
Give me 1 second to point this out. Look at the creep spread on the map.
Yep.
There is basically no creep that is, more than a stone throw outside of the Zerg's base.
Yeah.
That is so bad for DRG.
Yeah, that's definitely going to make it a lot more difficult for him to defend anything. But here we go, actually. DRG moving forward. Great fungal growths, amazing fungal growths, but not enough units to capitalize upon them.
Oh, man, this Infestor goes down. It seems like every engagement DRG just manages to lose. Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was. But still, he does not have the units. Well, these are a lot of red units in here, so it looks like he wants to try, but no, the siege tank gonna push him back. Well, we have Corruptors on the way, Tasteless. We have 3 armor on the way and a Drum Glands for Zerglings, so DRG has the tech. He has decent upgrades. GuMiho already with +3 attack for his Marines on the way. But only 1 starport, no Ghost Academy either. Don't forget, the Ghost nerf did occur today, and he just started his Ghost Academy, so he is still going to go Ghost, more likely for EMP than Snipes, because the Snipe no longer does as much to massive units like the Broodlords.
Here's some Broods. That's a very common place to morph in, by the way. GuMiho confident he's going to open up the middle of the map by destroying these rocks.
He is down in supply by about 20. Both of them taking their 4th bases at the same time.
What are the upgrades for the Zerg ground army, Artosis?
Well, he's got +2 carapace, and for melee attack, I want to click on one. He has +2. He has +3 carapace on the way as well.
He's going to have 3 starports here with add-ons.
A good choice. He's going to need a lot of Vikings to actually deal with the Broodlords. Broodlords are going to be really, really scary.
Oh, we got another drop coming in over here. And it's right before any defense can finish.
Oh, man, he's making those spine crawlers I was talking about earlier, but as you said, Tasteless, not in time.
And meanwhile, it looks like GuMiho's going to move out in the center of the map to kill the creep, or maybe even get this expansion. DRG turns around, but the Broodlords are going to stop this.
Yeah, GuMiho has to get out of there. This attack isn't going to work, but
oh my god, his infantry just doesn't die. Well, it does this time, but you get what I'm saying.
No, it was so cost-efficient in there, Tasteless, but still the supply's very even, and DRG, he may just have a better unit set at the moment, but 6 Vikings at a time being made. He took those reactors off his barracks. Beautiful play by GuMiho. Extremely smart move. And look
another
at that.
drop. That's how you punish a guy who goes Broodlords.
Absolutely.
Attack where the Broodlords are not. Oh, man.
This is so beautiful by GuMiho. And in fact, GuMiho right now is having his planetary attack, and he is repairing it.
Yeah, he's just buying time.
That's all he needs to do. All he needs to do is buy time right now while he gets that Viking
And here come the Vikings out. So the Corruptors can buy some time. Now, finally, DRG saves his main, but he, well, he doesn't really have a main, but you know what I'm saying?
Gone, yeah.
Yeah.
That is so painful. He's making a Baneling Nest, but I mean, he's in such a hard spot. Just restarting his lair now. All GuMiho has to do right now is just kind of wear everything down. Luckily, he still does have that Greater Spire.
And with 3 starports, he can get a lot of Vikings out here. That Viking count is not going to wait time soon. Nice up bungle though there by DRG. Is it possible that this wall of Broodlords is going to move through here and just get into the main?
You know, there are still a decent number of Corruptors up there, 4, but 4 more Vikings on the way right now.
Oh man, I think DRG might actually come back.
Yeah, it is looking like it takes us GG.
GG.
GuMiho giving that one up. A close game. Great moves by both players.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely great moves. I love the rush to Broodlords this game. You know, Ghosts weren't going to do it. GuMiho playing very smartly. When those Broodlords came over, he's like, well, I'm going to drop your main and kill everything. And DRG's like, well, my Greatest Spire is well hidden. You're not going to get that right now. I'm not going to be tricked and move back. If he had moved back, I feel like that is GuMiho's game.
I thought he was going to move back.
Yeah.
And then eventually, you know, with 3 reactors, the Vikings just pop out. GuMiho talking to himself right now.
Choyo comes in and says, hey, I talked to myself too. Yep. But he says it to himself.
All right, wait. I don't know how to transition out of that one, Artosis.
No, I'm just staring at you. I'm not giving you any.
I know, man. You're not getting me any material right now. All right. DRG. Wow. Terran OP says that sign. I don't know. GuMiho is OP. Blizzard's going to come in here and nerf GuMiho.
That's true. GuMiho, you can only with one hand. He's like,
GuMiho,
but that means I can only drop 3 locations at once.
Yep.
Still enough to get top 8s. Maybe not win, but top 8s.
Yeah. I still don't know if DRG is going to come back. Yeah. Some nerd throws his popcorn at the monitor. Yo, taste this. No, I'm serious, guys. I just don't know. You know, he's just... GuMiho's looking so good. Even the game that he loses it while he wipes out DRG's main. And he was also, we didn't have a shot at it, but he had a drop going on destroying the expansion at the bottom right side of the screen. That we couldn't
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, I saw that when I was looking over there.
That's so funny. Well, Dual Sight is the next map, Tasteless.
What we're going to need to cast GuMiho games is we're going to have these, like, 4 observers in the game and just make, like, these 4 boxes, and they're all observing around the map. And I'm like, oh my god, it's screen number 3, he's dropping. We have 1 observer per medevac. When he goes 2 starport, we're like, uh-oh. Ruh-roh. All right, guys, get ready for game number 4 between DRG and GuMiho.